There's ways to develop a relaxation response to control the stress response that aren't medicinal or supplements. And you just have to have a coach or somebody design or show you how to use this thing. I see a lot of people wearing these things on their wrists and around their neck. This is what I wear. I keep it with me all the time. Sometimes I don't really go to it anymore because I think I'm pretty good with my practice of meditation. But sometimes in times of stress, I'll go back and start feeling the beads and then going through the recitation. I used to always do this before giving talks at Whole Foods. I'd be a little nervous. Public speaking was something I had to develop, but I would always go through, I'd take passion flower extract. It's something I would use from Gaia brand to calm my nerves down. And then I'd start doing my mantras without anybody knowing. And when the questions and answers would come up in the lectures I'd give, I'd start rolling the beads. Nobody would know because I'd keep it hidden under my hands, and it would get me to calm down while I was listening to the questions so I can give them a proper answer. Not worry about being judged or criticized or giving the wrong answer. You know, that monkey mind starts up when you're in public speaking. So I don't really go to it anymore, but I could. I can always return to it. Keep it on my wrist because it just makes me feel comfortable. So those are the reasons for mala bead use. You can use a rosary too. You don't have to go through the mysteries of the rosary. There are actually things called the mysteries. There's 5 of them that usually you go through when you do the Catholic rosary. Hail Marys, Our Fathers, those are just prayers in our religion, and a set routine for going around and doing the rosary. There are people in the Philippines who still do this, and it's comfortable to them and helps them relax, and I think that's very reassuring, especially in times of need or stress. But the idea again is to do all this stuff and develop a relaxation practice before the stressor, before the high blood pressure, before the diagnosis of heart disease or cancer. If you can get that stuff in you and practice on a regular basis, once, twice a day, before the disease process comes up or before the stressor takes hold of you, then you'll be better attuned to fighting the battle, whether it's a heart attack, just anxiety, or some form of inflammation. I think you'll always fare better to be able to control that monkey mind, whether you use breath, hiking, mala beads, or your own form of quiet and silence.
The use of a mala bead or a mala is to count your mantras. So this is the one I picked up at the Chopra Center. I'm pretty sure you can see it now. These are Rudraska beads, considered holy in India, from the Rudraska tree. And these seeds, which you might be able to see better here. See, there's texture to these seeds. So when you roll them, I happen to use my thumb and my middle finger. I think officially you're supposed to use the 4th finger, but I haven't been able to manipulate that. So I do these 2 fingers, and there are meanings and reasons for which finger you're supposed to use, even when you try to meditate and use hand gestures. There's different reasons for it, but you know, be more practical. We just want you to be able to roll the bead, whether it's Rudraska with these little crevices that you'll be able to feel on your fingers, like this. Sometimes if you just do smooth surface like sandalwood or any gems, then you'll still get the feel, but the idea is while you're rolling the bead, you recite your mantra. Now I happen to get a mantra from the Chopra Center when I went there. It was designed for me. It was the culmination of the sounds that were pervading the earth during my birthday. And that's pretty cool, but you have the same sound that you recite when you roll your bead. So that's all you really do. Now, I've had some patients say, well, that's the devil's talk, or it's satanic, and you know what? It's just a sound that you have to recite. So even if you just roll the bead and say an easy mantra like, I'm home. I give that to some non-generic lectures that I put out if I want people to learn about mantra recitation and how to calm the mind and have a practice of relaxation. I'm home. Next, I'm home. Next, I'm home. Next, I'm home. Now, according to Herb Benson, you can have this repetition saying or reciting a word, phrase, thought, or prayer, and you can do that too. I like the way I'll see if I can put a link on the video, but I like the way I learned when he taught me that at Harvard. But either way, as long as you have a sound and a repetition that you use when you're rolling the bead. And in the average mala, there's about 108 beads. There's one at the center that you usually will reverse. Once you go around your mala beads to the center bead, you don't pass the center bead, you actually just flip it around and start all over again and go backwards, just reciting your mantras with each bead rolling till you go and hit center bead again and flip it over and start all over again. It's supposed to give energy to the bead every time you pass it. Some people refer to them as guru beads, but it doesn't matter. The name doesn't matter, but the idea of going once around, hitting the guru bead, coming back around, hitting the guru bead, coming back around. Keep on doing that, and hopefully you've done it at least once. And during that time, when you continue to do the recitation, work on breath, kind of roll and feel and do the breath and quiet down the mind, that monkey mind, you'll actually get so attuned to doing this that your mind kind of forgets about everything else. All those crazy thoughts that start to come up will be melted away because you're so into doing the rolling and the breath and the mantra and listening to the sound of your mantra. So that's the ideas with, that is the basic idea with a mala bead. I happen to wear this one all the time. I used to do this, as I mentioned in the video, before any kind of lectures when I was a little bit anxious about giving lectures and public speaking. Now I'm very comfortable with it and I don't do it, but it's just a reminder. And I was given this is a rosary. These are rosaries, and in the Catholic Church, there are not. This is a shortened version of the rosary. Here's the full rosary. There are several beads after the medallion bead. There's a way to do the rosary. I'm not going to talk about that now, but if you don't have a mala, you can actually do the rosary the same way. You just, whether you're doing the typical prayers of a rosary or whether you just want to do it as a form of counting your mantras, that's fine too. You just keep on going around just like I'm doing, and you do either the prayer that's typically associated with the rosary or you do your mantra. And again, if you haven't been given a mantra by somebody at the Chopra Center or somebody with sound healing, then you can just pick up your own mantra, whether it's, again, a thought, sound, prayer, a phrase, or the words, I'm home. I happen to like that one. Also makes the sound of Om, but I'm home, I'm home, I'm home. Keep on going down. You just have to get into the practice. So whether you choose to do one version or another version, or just wear them because it makes you feel cool. I actually used to have a set of sandalwood, and the sandalwood is relaxing. Anybody who's watched my oil videos, essential oil videos, the sandalwood is calming just like lavender. And I used to be able to smell the wood as I was going through the mantras, and that was calming, but it broke.